Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. We're gonna get through this. That's the
opportunity while I was there of being the accountant for Floyd Mayweather for a number of years.
Oh, wow.
And just unbelievable experiences when I was working with him. I mean, stories that I can share, stories there. There'd be 4 or 5 very expensive sports cars out front of our building and 20 people coming in and sitting down and going through the various items that we needed to, but always very flashy, very, very out there. You know, but something that many people, it's public knowledge, not sharing anything that's not out there, but something many people don't realize is he suffered a lot through his life with depression. It's something that he's...
Floyd recently got emotional after news broke that law enforcement is seizing $600 million worth of investments tied to him. It all started when he posted on social media, bragging that he had just bought 62 buildings in Manhattan, a move clearly meant to show off his wealth and real estate skills, but things quickly took a turn. The buildings weren't actually in his name. Once that false claim came to light, the FBI stepped in to take a closer look at his financial dealings. Now, they've frozen other properties and accounts they believe are linked to him.
To making sure that the homeless situation is cleaned up. This is one of the ways that they're doing it, and it looks like there could be possibly lots of different ways to scam the system.
And Floyd Mayweather is a provocative and controversial figure, but I think this article may make people think about him differently.
Now, those assets, reportedly worth over $600 million, are completely frozen. That means they can't be sold, transferred, or accessed until investigators determine whether Floyd actually owns them. What set all this off was Floyd himself. He chose to go public with the supposed deal, posting several videos where he proudly showed off the properties and claimed he'd made a huge real estate purchase in Manhattan. His tone was confident, even boastful, and the videos seemed designed to wow his followers. And they definitely got a reaction, but not the one he expected.
Lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings,
Fans quickly flooded the comments, and media outlets picked up the story. The size of the claim grabbed attention well beyond the boxing community. But once officials started checking the property records, the facts didn't add up. Not a single one of the buildings was listed under Mayweather's name.
Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan.
That discovery didn't just damage his reputation, it set off a much bigger investigation. Federal agents, already familiar with Floyd's bold financial claims over the years, took this as a green light to dig deeper. They started reviewing his older records and began freezing even more assets tied to him. Right now, nothing can be touched until a full audit is done. What makes this even more serious is that Floyd has openly said in past interviews that real estate is now his main source of income since retiring from boxing. So with those accounts on hold, his cash flow is cut off, at least for now. And with the kind of expensive lifestyle he's known for, that's a major problem.
In 36 months, of course, with one of my new investments, I would be making $300 million a month. But
what investment is that?
Just in real estate.
Aggregate, got you.
And I'm heavy in real estate. I'm real heavy in real estate. Even though, you know, I got my own liquid. You know, that means cash for those. I break it down in layman's terms. Even though.
To make things even more complicated, this financial mess hit just as Floyd was gearing up for one of his biggest moves yet, a $700 million bid to buy a stake in the NFL's New York Giants. He wasn't doing it alone either. He had teamed up with real estate investor Mir Orbach, and together they were leading a group effort to buy 10% of the team. The Giants, worth more than $7.5 billion, are one of the NFL's most historic and well-known franchises. It would have been a massive deal, so serious, in fact, that Floyd had already moved $200 million into escrow to show he was all in.
misunderstood. And he just want to be treated fair. Right. And this is for any team that's watching right now. We'll make them a deal. If they sign AB and AB go through the whole season, no problems at all. and then they got to give us 20 million. But if he mess up, then we got to give them 20 million. So if any team want to match that, reach out to us.
Now, that entire plan is on shaky ground. Not only is Floyd's financial situation under serious scrutiny, but his business partner, Mir Orbach, has gone mostly quiet. When reporters asked for a comment, he gave a vague response, simply saying that he and his team are always looking at various business opportunities, including owning a sports team, and left it at that. Under normal circumstances, a statement like that wouldn't raise eyebrows. But with everything going on, the timing has people wondering if there's more happening behind the scenes than anyone's letting on.
Like, over his lifetime, he's going to make $300 million off the deal. It just doesn't make sense, especially with the amount of power players in NYC who would have already bought those 62 units if it was so lucrative. The white guy would have easily bought those 62 units up. And this is where I think the bigger understanding comes in. Because if you don't know, the true owner is Black Spruce Management. Mayweather at most holds a minority ownership stake, and likely through a financial vehicle with options.
That's only raised more questions. Why hasn't Orbach confirmed whether Floyd is still involved in the deal? And if everything's above board, why the hesitation to talk about it publicly? Right now, no one has clear answers. But the longer the silence drags on, the more uncertain and suspicious the whole situation starts to feel.